What up, Dow? And welcome to Free for All Friday right here on Detroit Lions on the Proud, brought to you by Lions Nation Unite. And you know who it is. It's the big cookie company. It's Delightful Bites. Custom cookies and desserts for any occasion. Delightful Bites. Get your cookie on. And you know today is it's Friday. Then, hey, it's Saturday, Sunday. Well, it is Free for All Friday, man. We got some people back in the building that haven't been here for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce those gentlemen first. First up, it's the young fella. Y'all know who he is. He's the ultimate super fan. The young fella. It is Dose, the Dose of Dion. What's up, my man?
Hey, what's going on, guys? It looks like I came back on the perfect day, man. It's good to be here, though. Thank you guys for having me back on. Appreciate all the links, man. I do. My bad. I had a big brain fart this morning. I was like, hold up, is it 10 or 11? So I was like, I joined in at 10. And I was like, okay, this is not right. There's nobody here. But thanks for having me, man. It's good to be back.
It is good to see you back, my brother. All right, and y'all know him, man. Y'all see him up there. He is, y'all know who I call him. He's Jathan Statham Jr. My man Anthony from Roar of the Lions UK. What's going on, my dude?
Hey, what up, though? Lions on the Prowl fam. Glad to be back again. Sorry I've not been on much recently. Work got in the way, but I've made time for you today. The sun is shining. The winter has dissipated over here in the UK, so this is a good day.
All right, definitely. Man, y'all know it's going to be off the chain today with these two. First, I'm going to bring in, she says she already going to be turned up because she tired. It's the queen of the Proud, Valerie Bordeaux. Good morning, Val.
What's up, Proud Nation? I am on Team No Sleep, surviving on caffeine and fumes. And if you guys think I'm crazy, normally it gets 10 times worse when I'm tired. So this show is about to get lit. We were already fighting up in the chat before the show even started. So it's gonna be on.
You was starting shit, Val. You was starting shit. It's too early for this, Val. You starting shit.
Okay. Who was talking shit first?
No.
Okay.
That was yesterday, Val.
Yeah, I had my hair pulled out. I had hair before this. It's been pulled out.
I know.
And y'all know who it is. Y'all see him down there. My man, y'all see it's Luke G of Luke G's Field Review. What's going on, my guy?
Hey, salute to everybody in the family, everybody in the chat. What up, dude?
All right, let's say good morning in the chat right quick before we get this thing, because I'm starting it off the drip. Rob Smith is already starting it, talking about some Motown Malik. All right. So good morning to Rob Swift and everybody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for joining. Dan Spanos, what's going on? Happy Friday, people. Now it is time to get this thing going because I don't know where this crap came from. I think it started over at Woodward Sports. I think that's where I saw it first. But here we go. Are you on the Malik Willis at 2 hype train? All right, Val. I'm gonna let you get it kicked off because I'm starting the shit off early. I'm gonna let you get kicked off first with this one. Are you on that Malik Willis at 2 hype train?
Hell to the fuck no! That train is derailed and off the track, and it crashed and burned. If you are on the Malik Willis freight train bullshit, you need to get the fuck off because you on the wrong damn train. Why the hell are y'all trying to build a goddamn fucking grid screen TV with no damn house? Stop it! Not a number 2. Stop it!
Makes that no sense to me. I'm okay. Dose of Dion, what you got? Are you on the Malik Willis at 2 hype train?
Man, she set the tone there. Okay, that's how we doing this. No, I'm not on the Malik Willis type train. I don't know where it came from. I mean, it just feels like it's kind of been like building. You know, like you get the pro day, and now all the guys it's like the recency. Even Matt Corral right after his pro day, I started seeing people like Matt Corral. I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going on here? But no, I'm not on the Malik Willis hype train.
We lost. Oh, we lost those. Okay, so he's not on the Malik Willis hype train. Now I'm gonna let these I'm gonna throw my little 2 cents in right quick before I let my man Anthony and Luke G, because I know Luke G about to tear it up. But Malik Willis, he didn't even have the best pro day. His footwork is trash. If you look at this guy, Desmond Ridder had a better long ball than Malik Willis. I know he's happy. People want to root for him. He has a good backstory and all this stuff like that. Okay, yeah, I got it. He's a good dude. I'm not rooting up against him personally, but we don't need a project quarterback at number 2 in this draft. We need starters. We need players, guys who are going to make immediate impact. But even with him as a quarterback, The guy is okay. Look at the tape against top tier talent. When they're playing like SEC teams, or they're playing outside of their conference, or, at Liberty, did not perform well. His throwing platform is terrible. Yes, he has a huge arm. We all know that. But the guy he's not it. Lions fans, if you have to talk yourself into drafting a person, that guy's not it. Oh, man, I thought about it. I think I can't jump on it. Nah, man. If he ain't the guy, you wake up, look at the film, and you're like, hey, that's the dude right there, then he's not it. You don't talk yourself into a number 2 pick.
He's the Jared Goff from Wish. He's the Jared Goff from Wish. Okay, yeah. He wouldn't make it as a Bears quarterback. Okay,
he's not that guy. I mean, just to me, you don't pick up if you look at what this team is right now, you don't pick a guy who be a project in this draft. You pick starters. You got like I say, immediate impact guys. You don't want to pick a guy at 2 that you're going to take 2 or 3 years to develop. Not in this draft. I'm sorry, I don't know what you guys are thinking about. I don't know who started this hype train, but please take it away. All right, Anthony, what you got, my man? Are you on this Malik Willis hype train?
No, I'm by the side of the track redirecting the rails into the ocean, and I'm hoping that it stays there. I agree with you, Curt. We are not in a position to be drafting a developmental quarterback at 2 in the draft. This team needs bona fide blue chip talent on there for our coaches to develop. We need to build this team. We just had an elite guy for 11 years. We never built around him. We didn't win anything because we did it wrong. And Malik Willis is not even, he's nowhere near there. He's a development guy. And, I think all this thing about him in the draft coming up, I think people are panicking. I think people are trying to, like you say, talk themselves into drafting him. I mean, I see all this thing. He's the next Josh Allen. He's got a Josh Allen-like arm. Okay, well, I'll tell you the big thing. The big indicator for me here that he's not the next Josh Allen. Who's sat behind us right in the draft? New York Giants are. They're sat there at 5 and they're sat at 7. They need a quarterback because Daniel Jones is in his 4th year. They've not renewed his contract for a 5th. They need a guy. Who's their offensive coordinator? The guy who's their head coach? The guy who just happened to coach up Josh Allen for 3 years. Not one single reputable mock draft site in the country has drafted a quarterback to them. There has been no talk around the league about Malik Willis going there to them. They barely sent anyone to his pro day of note there. So, he knows better than anyone if there's a Josh Allen in this league, he's going to take him. And he's not. And why is he not taking him? Because he ain't worth that top 5 pick. So why the hell are we discussing him at 2? Just does not make sense. And we need to get a bona fide star on this team who we can start right away. Any regular draft besides this year, Malik Willis wouldn't even be looked at as probably a 3rd round pick, if that. You know what I'm saying? In a normal draft, he will be a 3rd round pick. You just look at this because this quarterback class is so light. You know what I'm saying? Now he's, let's pick my number 2. Are you freaking crazy? I mean, oh man. All right, Maniac Tim's in the building. What's up going on, my guy? I gotta let Luke G go last. So are you on this hype train for Malik Willis at number 2, Uncle Timmy?
Yes. No, hell no. Hell no.
I was gonna say that Tim is really a maniac.
Yeah. If this guy cannot bring wins now, and he just needs to be developing, man, this dude needs to. If he was maybe a Deshaun Watson or a Patrick Mahomes or something like that, ready to step in and play, hell yeah. But he's not. He has proven that. We do not need another project person. We need somebody that's going to help us win now, not later. Now we need that star. We need to build that foundation. So get off that train because I never was on it.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and say a prayer right quick. All right, Luke G. Luke G. Review. What you got to say about the Malik Willis hype train?
I'm so tired of the topic. I'm so tired of the idea. I'm so disgusted at this fan base for even jumping on this train that I am on the train with them. I want you all to be on the train, front row seats when it all derails. Thank God that we have such a great fan base. Let's just be honest. The same way this train lit up is the same way it lit up for Okuda. That's working out great. You can't get it wrong. The even better part of it is this. The people always say these weird things like, he's compared to Josh Allen. Nothing about him spells Josh Allen. I don't. This whole big is of rules. Big everybody is big. Curt, your is big when ain't nobody coming at you and you throwing the football to just the damn win. Vale is big. Who ain't big not throwing to nobody? I want the Lions fan base to get whoever it is they want. I want them to take this guy who looks more like Geno Smith than he do Russell Wilson, who happened to win in the 3rd round. I mean, if you trust in Brad Holmes, I love how people like to use the reverse psychology and say things like, if you trust in Brad Holmes, he can find talent late in later rounds. Well, why can't he find a quarterback in the later rounds? Why can't he go out and get somebody else down there later? I mean, it's not like that you have a hard time finding talent in the later rounds. You trust him, right? Dak Prescott, he's a 2nd overall pick, right? And you brought up another good point. Right? And I know somebody gonna say Dak Prescott won a 2nd round pick. Duh. Keep up. The point I'm trying to make is even Curt pointed it out. There ain't a draft over the last 12 years that you can look at and say he would be a top 2, top 5, top 10, top 20, top 32, top 35, top 50 pick. There is not a draft. He wouldn't even be a top 75 pick in next year's draft. But we're going to sit here and find some kind of way to say, let's get on this hype train. I hope they take him. I hope they take him. And that they're dropping bomb at the bomb on us and they're running the ball down our throat, I'm going to tell you, hey, calm the hell down. Malik Willis got this next year.
You know what, though? And I know he looked like a weirdo doing it. And because everybody talk about the bombs he was throwing in Pro Day, Malik Willis, right? Okay, the Pajama Warrior workouts always don't pan out, right? Jamarcus Russell had a huge workout at a Pro Day, throwing the ball 80 yards, 70 yards in the air from his knees at his Pro Day, right? The one guy that I liked the way he looked at his Pro Day as far as what he had on was Johnny Football. Why do I say that? He had a helmet on and he had on shoulder pads, right? Your range of motion with shoulder pads on is different. When you're throwing the football, it makes a difference when you have shoulder pads on throwing. You're not going to make
talking science to people. Don't talk science to people. Talk Netflix. They need. No,
I got to say this.
They need basic language. They can't understand. I ate food. Okay. They can't.
Yeah, you know. Even with Johnny, he had on a helmet, right? Your field of vision is different with a helmet when you're throwing the football. It makes sense. I like the fact that he did that because of the fact that he can actually show how he throws the ball in game type situations with a helmet and shoulder pads on. Pajama Warriors out there throwing in t-shirts and sleep shorts and whatever. I mean, a whole bunch of people, like Luke G said, can make those throws. You know, they can wind their arm up. They can put some Bengay. I put some Bengay on the shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm good for a good 4 or 5 throws. You know what I'm saying? Getting it down the field.
It's so dumb though, Curt. Listen, Curt. I hate it because it's like I'm a fan of the QB school, right? So the QB school, former Detroit Lion, former NFL quarterback JT O'Sullivan has the QB school on YouTube. Check it out. He did part 6 full freaking games of this man. And everything he said, I saw it before he even said it. The quarterback don't throw a single anticipation throw. This guy relies so much on his legs and does not always look to throw first. He's looking to run. And here's the best part about it, because I know some of the arguments people are going to make. There's only one other take worse than taking Malik Willis at 2, and that's Trayvon Walker. Everything else, I don't really care about. But taking Malik Willis at 2 to sit, like we got the luxury to allow players to sit. The hell out of here with that. Okay?
You want him to sit behind golf? Really?
To sit to do what?
I mean, and here's my thing. People complain about golf, right? And my thing is, you gonna draft a guy who's worse than golf right now, who can't play this position better than golf. You pick a guy too. You picking a guy who's coming on the field right away and making an impact. Look at the 49ers, right? They're still struggling with Trey Lance. They can't even figure out when they can get him on the field. If Trey Lance was that good last year, he would have started over Jimmy G.
No, I said take it a step further. Don't just stop there. Don't just stop with about them not being able to get him on the field. Go and look at the fact that if you took Malik Willis and let him sit for a year, because everybody's just trusting the greatness of our general manager to do this, right? Fine. But just take it a step further. if Malik Willis starts next year, what quarterback number you think he would be in the division? You think he would be the second best quarterback in the division? F no. You think he'd be the third best? F no.
And how do you think he's going to get better when you got a quarterbacks coach who couldn't even, and when he played, beat out a starting quarterback?
I mean, it's at this point. All right, I think that everybody on the panel has go ahead and say that the Malik Willis high train, as far as Detroit Lions on the prowl, is definitely off the tracks. I mean, for real. I mean, that thing is it's a train wreck, not a train. All right, so let's get back into the comments. All right, my man Joseph Murdoch and Associates, the law firm. What's going on? What's going on? Good morning and happy Friday. My man Dan Spanos and Holmes We Trust. I'll be back anyone they draft at this point because everyone at the top of this draft is a reach at number 2. I mean, it's so much of a reach. They must have it's Mr. Elastic from the Fantastic Four. I mean, you got to have Manute Bol type of wingspan to pick Malik Willis at number 2. That's how long your reach got to be to get that dude, man. I don't know what is going on.
And he doesn't fix a single need for this team.
No,
I'll challenge anybody. I'll tell anybody, he does not fix a single need for this damn team. You can go out and get Malik Willis, and guess what? Malik Willis can come in, and let's say they get rid of Tim Boyles and they get rid of David Blau. You essentially are going to just get David Blau all over again. Because why? Malik Willis is not changing nothing. He's not changing nothing. We could have won a whole lot more games if we had better defensive play in the secondary.
Yep. Name one person that besides Malik Willis that's going to be drafted. None of them.
I'll respond to that. You know, look at Grayson McCall at Coastal Carolina. He's got one guy with him who's getting drafted this year. He's on a team that's recently come up to the FBS. They're a small fish in a big pond. He's had 2 tremendous seasons with them and look really damn good in the process. He's in exactly the same situation that Malik Willis is. And we're not making excuses for him for not having a lack of talent around him. He only had Isaiah Likely there. The rest is the same with Malik Willis. They've won 17 games over the last 2 years. So don't tell me there's no talent there when they've won 17 games in 2 years.
Right. And looking at, I don't want to. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know. I probably can find a guy I would draft as an undrafted free agent at Liberty before I drafted Malik Willis. I'm just saying.
And here's the thing.
I'm just saying.
Here's the thing, with the financials here, the Lions aren't even going to be looking for a quarterback this year. Number one, because they don't need to, because they need other needs. Number two, you've already got Goff on contract and 2 other quarterbacks that are already signed on contracts. You don't need to freaking sign a 4th one on top of that for this bullshit when you got other needs that you need to be paying for with the limited budget you have. So that's stupid.
Okay, here we go. All right, Avery Giovanni, because I know this name of Spirit of Detroit Forecast. Y'all don't Malik, but like Goff. I like Goff, but I don't like Malik Willis. Are you crazy?
I don't like either.
I would take somebody like Jared Goff over Malik Willis.
That's crazy logic. We've got to draft a quarterback because we don't like Jared Goff. Let's just draft anybody because we got Jared Goff.
Right. That don't even make sense. Like, here's the thing. I don't like because I love the current quarterback because I don't want the guy I don't know. Well, I know what I got in Jared Goff. I know who he is. I still play his NFL talent. I saw a guy in Malik Willis go up against bigger schools at Liberty. And I know that he was at Auburn, and Auburn has all kind of talent, and he left and went to Liberty. And guess what? The worst part about it is this. When you look at somebody that's so great, they're so phenomenal, they're so electric, they should stand out above all the talent. Malik Willis looked like he was just a guy who came from a bigger school because he could run. That's all it was. He can run. Well, guess what? If you want that same style, go and take one of these fast receivers, tell them I'm going to give you the football in your hand, and good luck. It's just dumb. Like, if we don't want Malik Willis at second, that doesn't mean that we are in love with Goff. It just simply means that at the end of the day, Malik Willis does not help this team. And we're not willing to sit here and wait and play games on shoulda, woulda, couldas when you're taking a guy second overall. If he's not going to start, then he don't need to be here.
We're not going to waste a draft choice, a number 2 draft choice on nothing. That's going
to a guy who's not going to play.
Right.
The Malik hype train is basically the short bus, and we're basically talking to people with helmets on their heads. So we just need to move on to the next topic because we're not going to get through to these guys because they just don't know.
All right, so give me your thoughts on Mike Hughes signing in Detroit. If y'all don't know who Mike Hughes is, I don't know who the hell doesn't know who he is. He's a cornerback, came over from the Kansas City Chiefs, drafted by the Vikings a few years ago. Young guy, 25 years old, had a couple of just tragic injuries his first couple of years. Last year, played well, earned himself some playing time, played about 45% of the defensive snaps. He played primarily on the outside out there in Kansas City. He played in the inside when he was in Minnesota. Can play both, slot and outside corner. Not very tall, right around 6 feet tall, kind of light, about 180 and some change, between that 180 and 190, that fluctuates. But what impressed me last year, he had 4 forced fumbles last year. He was kind of played that Peanut Tillman Jr. type of role out there, knocking the ball loose, and he recovered 1 fumble before a touchdown last year. Can definitely play on the outside. And he's there to kind of help compete with these young guys. And I think that with Aaron Glenn and Arby Pleasant, they definitely could help this young man continue. It's kind of like that Harris type of signing for me, where he can continue to rejuvenate his career in Detroit with the coaching staff. But those are my thoughts on the Mike Hughes signing. What you got, Dosa Dion?
Yeah, no, I think you hit it. Like the 4 forced fumble sticks out, like when you just look at the numbers. By the way, I didn't mean to hop out like that. I just clicked X and I was like, oh no, I'm gone. But
it's okay.
That does stick out right away. And I think 2 of those came in the same game. I think the recovery was like the first play of a game, which was pretty cool. I like Mike though, because I think he kind of suits in well. Very physical. I mean, he will bump guys off the line at his size. He plays bigger than he is. I love that. He's willing to tackle. I think that helped him a ton in the slot. I don't know if I like him more in the slot as of now, but you do like to have that versatility. We know about his kick return, punt return background, so who knows, depending on what Godwin's situation is, maybe becomes our future kick return. I mean, there's a possibility there, but to me, it almost feels solid like a Charles Harris signing, kind of like, but at the cornerback position, because I like it. I mean, it's not like he's had the neck injury, which was very serious, but he didn't have to have surgery. Last year, he plays every game. I thought last year looked like his best year that I saw, so to get that guy, give him a year, they said they liked him coming out of the draft. To me, it's kind of like the low risk, high reward potential. I mean, you can't do anything with the size, but we also saw Jerry Jacobs, who's built a little bit bigger. Jerry Jacobs played well for us last season, so I think it's a cool opportunity. He moves well, and what everything was about last year with our defensive backs coaches was, let's get confidence in these guys. They're playing too slow in the back end, and that's one issue that even Mike Zimmer talked about that he had in Minnesota. So if those 2 things can kind of come together, hopefully we have something like Charles Harris in the cornerback room.
Okay, definitely. What you got, Anthony, on the Mike Hughes signing?
Yeah, I must admit, initially, I forgot he even left Minnesota. When I first saw the name, I thought, oh, Jesus, I remember him from his Minnesota days. He was not good at all. I mean, they've had a lot of problems with corners over the years. But as you say, he's gone away. He's improved over the years. Still young, and that's what this team is sort of based on, sort of ascending young players who are reaching the pinnacle of the game. And we are handing him over to 2 defensive back coaches, Aubrey Pleasant, Aaron Glenn. We saw the development they did with even the undrafted guys last year. So you do have to feel positive about getting the guys in there. Hopefully he comes in. There's a lot of competition for the spot, because there is now. When Jeff comes back, when Jerry's back, there's going to be 7 or 8 corners in there fighting it out, and that's only good for us. So, yeah, solid signing, and if it works out in the long term, we've got a good corner going forward. So I like the way we're building. We're building through the draft. We've got these 1-year deals where players know they can come in, prove themselves, earn the money here afterwards. It's the right way to go.
All right. Okay, what you got, Luke G, of Luke G, to review on Mike Hughes? Because I know you were puzzled at first, because I know you were looking back at how he was at Minnesota when you first kind of took a look at the signing.
Well, I just it's just like I'm not excited. I ain't mad. I just yeah. I mean, at the very least, I know he's an insurance policy. If Okuda's not fully healed, even though they keep showing videos of him running, and I swear to God, I'm not making this up, he looks slower than he did before. And I'm like, if that's rehab, don't sign me up for it. Holy smokes. He does not look good, and if he cannot go at a full go, and you put this guy in, like I'm not high on it. I ain't low on it. I'm just like, well, he here. You know what I mean? It's sort of like if you get pickles on your burger or not. You can have it without pickles and it's cool. But with pickles, it's still cool. It's not a make or break thing for you.
Right. I looked at it like, but if you look at this and you say insurance, that's one thing some people aren't really understanding. We had a lot of injuries, especially at the back end of the season in the secondary. You had some guys that may not be ready for camp. Okuda is one of them. You get Jacobs, who's coming off an injury as well. AJ Parker was injured coming out of the last year as well. Playing banged up down the end of the season. So he is an insurance policy. But he's a young veteran. That's one thing I like about him. He's only 25 years old and he's a veteran. So he has experience. He can help on the back end, in a slot or outside, just because of the fact that he's, like you said, he's insurance. He has those snaps, and playing in the Kansas City last year definitely helped him. With getting back to where he wanted to be coming out of college, because the guy's a former first round pick. So he had to have some type of unlike the reach we have for Okuda, he was at the bottom of the first round. So what you got there on Mike Hughes?
Actually, I do a lot of dissing on this show with Lion stuff, as a Bears fan, and it's all in fun, you guys, okay? Mm-hmm. But this one, for me, is a gold star signing for you all.
Gold star.
Gold star.
I love it. Yes.
Yes. And you know what? I looked and I didn't know who the hell he was, so I had to look him up myself because I'm like, okay, it's Minnesota. Ew, what the heck? What Minnesota? What? No. But no, when looking at what he's done and looking at what he's done last year, this guy is on the upswing again. Mm-hmm. So I honestly believe that this is a gold star sign. This is one of my most happiest picks that the Lions have done so far this offseason.
Okay.
So I'm all on the Hughes train.
You're all on the Hughes train. All right, what you got, my man, Maniac Tim? Uncle Timmy, tell me about Mike Hughes, my man.
Okay, well, he's going to a team now that is in an atmosphere that is giving their all to try to win. I mean, I think him playing under the Brad Holmes and Dan's regime is really going to help him out, and he's on a team that's just going that goes ahead and try to elevate the players. And also, the one good thing during the Patricia's years that made anything interesting was the forced fumbles, the forced turnovers. So I love that. I love when you can go and take away something away from your opponent's team.
Yeah, Hughes is a beast.
Yeah, so him being on a team where the team themselves elevates to play to try to win a game, to not give up, I think it's going to be good for Detroit.
Okay, definitely. All right, let's get into some more of these comments.
Luke loves it. He gives it 2 gold stars, man. I
mean, 2 gold stars, the double thumbs up. You know what I'm saying?
We'll go 5 gold stars, guys.
Wow. Watch what's gonna happen. I got a strong feeling what's gonna happen. It's gonna come down to 1 or 2 things. 1, he gonna play. We're gonna light him on fire for his play. Or 2, he gonna get cut when the rounds come from the 53-man roster and they add somebody better. And we gonna be looking back at this, saying to ourselves like gold stars, and we like it. F that. No, let's keep it neutral on this one. Let's wait and see. Give it a little bit of chance to marinate.
No, I'm usually good on my instinct, and I'm saying this is a gold star. This is a gold star signing.
Okay. All right. All right. So Dan Spano says everyone is angry this morning. I don't think we're angry.
No.
Irritated.
We just like to talk shit. That's all.
I'm angry. You know why I'm angry? I'm angry because I'm sick of people going out in gym shorts and Jordans doing things, and then fans acting like, "Hey, did you hear what that guy did? Yeah, he completed all of his passes at his pro day. Well, how many he completed when it counted? Huh? But he ran for 1,000 yards. I ain't asked you about that. And then all of a sudden, a guy runs. You hear that guy is 6'5" and ran. He's like 270. He ran 2.5.
What did he do in the game? What did he do in the game?
Nothing. Not a damn thing. Nothing. Tape don't say it. Nothing says it. It's just a waste of trash.
That's bad when it's a waste of trash.
He says Juju Hughes at safety. Hughes was a depth signing, man. Don't get it twisted. He wasn't even a starter in LA. He didn't even make the Super Bowl roster. Come on, man. Miss me with that one. All right, thank you, man. He said get them likes up though. Yeah, get them likes up, people. Yeah. Like the video, share the video, comment on the video. Hey, man, get some more Lions fan in here in this chat. You know what I'm saying? So we can definitely do some things. But we appreciate you right here for checking us out on Detroit Lions on the Proud. Fan free for all Friday. Go over there and check us out. Checking us out on Lions Nation Unite, man. Herman Moore and those guys over there. They take care of us. They help bring us this content right here. So go ahead and check it out right there on Detroit Lions on the Proud. Somebody says John Doe. Oh, I missed it. Hold on. I told you DK Metcalf is coming to Detroit. I don't know what you're talking about. I know that proposed trade. Now I'm gonna get this. Whatever proposed trades is that they trade. The Lions trade one of their picks and have DK Metcalf come over from the Seattle Seahawks to Detroit. Luke G, who knows about the Seahawks, what do you think about that trade?
It's a dumb trade for both teams. I mean, if you listen, you're talking about swapping first. You're gonna move up 7 spots, and all we get in return is to move down 7 spots, an additional second. I think I saw in DK Metcalf. Oh, okay. I mean, we talking about a league right now where Devontae Adams just got traded, Tyreek Hill just got traded, and you're good with walking away 7 spots for a receiver because he fast. Y'all love them 40 times, don't y'all? I mean, really? No, it's not a trade that I would do. I want the same ransom, if not more, that the 49ers got or that some other team got when it came time to move it down 7 spots. You talking about moving from 2 to 9? F that. I want real compensation. You want to give me a receiver? You want to give me your first at 9? You want to give me a second and another first? We can talk. But it's going to start off with 2 firsts before we go anywhere. DK Metcalf ain't enough to be like, yeah, we're going to get it done. No. He already mad at Seattle. You're going to bring his angry ass here to do what? Be pissed off? Nah. No, quit setting yourself up.
All right. It didn't make sense to me as well either. I'm looking at that. I'm like, that's not something we need right now. We're trying to get younger. We already added our pieces at wide receiver for this season. I don't see it why we would bring in DK Metcalf to this team. It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it's just dumb as hell.
Yeah, I don't get into that. All right, let's get to the next question.
Like what YouTube users said, DK would be pissed too, bringing players who want to come. Right, because the first thing he gonna do, he was mad. He's already mad at Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Like, bro, like
what are you gonna do
with golf?
Yeah. Like he was mad at Russell Wilson. He gonna swing on Jared Goff. He gonna swing on whoever the quarterback is. Better throw him the ball 100 times. Man, he already throwing.
You know what? Now I'm on that train because I want to see Goff get bitch slapped across the field. Now
I'm just saying, like man,
it doesn't make any sense. I mean, and I feel like this. If you look at the people who just got traded, if he gonna say, okay, I'm not playing until I get a contract because he's on the rookie deal, right? Okay, I need a new contract before I play it down in Detroit. That's exactly what he'll do. I'm not playing it down in Detroit till I get some money. Pay me because thank you to the Jacksonville Jaguars who screwed up the wide receiver market by giving Christian Kirk that ridiculous contract. And now you look at what's going on with these trades around the league and the wide receivers, where they're getting these huge contracts because of this one deal that the guy there's no way you could justify that contract for me for Christian Kirk. You can't justify it. He doesn't have the output numbers to say he deserved that contract. But you do that, and now the wide receiver market is upside down. It's crazy.
That's shocking.
Don't make no sense because I'm telling you, if DK Metcalf comes, that's exactly what he would do. Okay, I'm your feature wide receiver. Pay me. I'm not playing it down to you.
Of course.
Then we'd be in cap hell for a lot longer.
No, we wouldn't because we wouldn't sign him. That's the problem. It would be a wasted trade. Mm-hmm. It would be a waste of a trade, man.
Okay.
What?
I want to address this one comment real quick.
Okay, what you got? What comment is it?
From Avery, Spirit of Detroit podcast. All y'all talk about.
Which one is it?
that all y'all talk about.
All right, talk about is okay. Here we
All you
go.
talk
This
about
one?
the 3 picks. Where's the content? Free for All Friday is our open conversation with our fans for the show. We deliver content. There's content in the show. If you ain't, we've had plenty of content already. If you ain't listening, I can't help you. But the Friday show is where we all let it loose, hang out, and talk about Lions football with the fans and answer questions that everybody's got. So
Yeah,
that is our content.
Yeah, Free for All Fridays, my man, is not like a structured content show. We have questions. We ask questions from the audience. We have our own, doc of questions. We've asked about draft picks. We asked about free agent signings. That's what we're talking about right now. So, that's the content. But if you want to check out our content for our shows, that's just scripted show or scripted content. Check out our stuff through Monday through Thursday. But Friday, we hang out and have some fun and just talk some trash and have some fun talking about the hot topics on Detroit Lions. So that's what we do on Fridays, my man. All right. So, latest, one of the latest signings, free agent signings, along with Mike Hughes, was Chris Board. Okay, will Chris Board compete for a starting job, or will he be a, special teamer? Because one of his teammates out there in Baltimore said he was the best special team player in the league. I know that he was kind of looked at as a Jalen Reeves-Maybin type of replacement. So what do you think his role will be on the team? I'm gonna go to you first, Anthony, over there, Rhode Lions UK. What do you think about Chris Board? Will he fight for a starting spot, or will he, just kind of stick to special teams?
Well, I mean, if you look at the depth chart right now, he's obviously going to be fighting for a spot because we don't have a great deal of depth there at the minute. We have a lot of these special teams upside guys who could potentially be linebacker guys there. I'm hoping that we go hard on linebacker in the draft. I think we need one, maybe two, reasonably high up in this draft, especially trying to help with the run defense aspect of that as well. I want him to be on the fringes when the season comes around. Yeah, give him a go, but I don't really want to see him at the minute in a starting spot. I just think, that was always the problem with Jalen Reeves-Maybin. A lot of special teams there. He came in, he was all right in the team, but we need those guys who are really top-tier linebackers in here first. So, I like the signing, though. Again, it's another one of these where it's a guy who's getting an opportunity to come here, stake his place in the team. And if he earns it, that's absolutely fine. But I just think at this moment in time, I'd rather us draft a few guys and let them fight it out. See if we get a bit more than just special teams.
Okay, I feel you. For me, like I said, I think I like to sign him because he has a special teams background. And we lost that with Jalen Reeves-Maybin. He was one of our best special teamers, and that is an important part of your team. You cannot forget about your special teams. If you just rely on getting players that are good for offense or defense, you're going to lose out. You need guys that play well on special teams. You need good gunners. You need good tacklers on special teams. You need those guys to make sure you're not. The other team's not flipping the field every time they do they get a punt, return, and they're, taking the ball 80 yards to the house, or they're not, we're controlling that, that line of scrimmage when we have it, it is, and we can flip the field and stop instead of getting the field flipped on us. What you got on Chris Board, Luke G?
I think if you look at Brad Holmes and the fact that he brought back Charles Harris, the fact that he brought back people that essentially were brought here on a prove it deal, he's here to do the same thing everybody else has done, which is prove it. He'll be given the same opportunity to compete and prove that he belongs here, and when he does, he'll be rewarded. The unfortunate problem is the Lions are allowed to get up to 90 people on their roster, and he's going to really have to earn himself a spot. So if he earns it, he'll be here. If he don't, he'll be gone. And the reality is in my opinion, this is a guy that I'm looking at saying, okay, sound good, until they go out and draft two linebackers, and we like, well, that guy that we took for special teams, F that. Let's talk about the Kobe Dean, or let's talk about this linebacker. So to me, I don't think he's going to be a special team guy. I don't think he's going to be here just for compete. He's here for an opportunity, tryout basis, try out, succeed, stay, get a contract. It's simple. They've shown this is to be the formula even with Josh Reynolds.
All right, what you got? What you got, Dose Dion?
Yeah, no, I think a lot of good stings there. He's the athlete I think that the Lions want, former safety. So I think that sticks out, and his snaps have been going up. We've seen him play on third down a lot. You know, he's dropped in coverage and he blitzed. We haven't seen much more than that. So like Luke said, this is just full on opportunity to see what he can do and see if he can become like kind of a normal piece defensively. Definitely the special team side I think is going to help him when it comes to trying to make the team. When you see that, I mean, now we have Josh Woods who plays well on special teams as well, so you can't have too many. I mean, that'd be nice to have both those guys out there. That'll help him, I think. But also when you think about the draft, I agree. I don't know how high we're going to go, but I could easily see us draft 2 guys. Derek Barnes isn't going anywhere. I don't see Alex going anywhere this season, so he's really going to be pushing for a final linebacker spot. It's not going to be easy. He'll be right on the edge fighting for a roster spot in my eyes.
All right, what you got, Val?
I'm with Luke a little bit on this one. It's like, yeah, let's see what he can do. For me, the signing is meh. I really don't like it. I'd rather have kept Jalen, but that's just me. We'll see what he can do. I'm not thrilled.
All right, what you got, Maniac?
Well, okay, I'll be on the bandwagon. He's a real good. No, I'm. Yeah, prove it. Let's see what he can do. If he beats out the players. Give him the chance, but this gives him the chance to go ahead and prove what he can do, and if he can shine, if not, just get rid of him.
He's just like, yeah, he's a man.
Have you answered this, Anthony? What do you think about Mike?
Yeah,
you answered. Okay, I thought you said.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get back to some of these comments down here in the comment section, man, because we got to get the people involved, because that's why they hang out with us sometimes, because we got to get the people what they want and get these comments on there. All right, so here's our one. He said the Ravens tried to keep him, so I think he has a shot. I think so too. He was definitely spent more time on the field in that defense last year. Now some of it was due to injury, because the Ravens secondary, I mean their team was banged up last year, so he kind of stepped in and kind of just filled in some gaps for the Ravens linebacking core last year. But he did earn that time. He just wasn't given to him. All right. Tony Haven says, so see, I'm good with Malik or KT. These are easy 2 picks at 2 for us.
Oh my God, Jesus.
Man.
I feel like every time I hear it, I get an ulcer, and then it turns into like something else, like a blood clot or something. Like what? Why? Why?
Look, when you said you were like 75, you said top 75, I was done.
I'm like, dude,
you're
like
so aggressive. I love it.
Because it's listen, this what it is, Dion. Let's just be honest, bro. How many years we do this where everybody fall in love with a player, somebody come out and they go against the grain and say, look, this is not what the tape show, and then they get attacked and destroyed, and then when that player ends up being a bump, all them people disappear. Nobody wants to talk about it no more. They just want to watch it. Like all the haters of Stafford. You know what their new excuse is? Stafford's not here anymore. Let's talk about something else. Oh yeah, I bet you want to talk about something else.
Yeah,
I bet you do.
Yeah,
like come on, like
John Doe says we got all the pieces. All we need is DK. Man, stop playing. We don't have all the pieces.
What's he been drinking, man? Or smoking?
I mean, we have all the pieces. You all what pieces?
You do?
We do. I mean, that's surprising. I mean, that surprised the hell out of me. I'm looking at, huh? Yeah. Okay. Move right along, man. I don't know what the hell that is.
I got a question though. I really do got
What's
a question, like because again, the second pick can miss me. I heard something today on the Woodward Sports Network where Adam was talking to this scout or whatever, and Adam made a point where he asked him. He said, "Hey, if you draft Malik, doesn't that mean you have to go all in on creating the offense completely around Malik? And if you are the Lions fan base in the middle of a bill, are you okay with them saying taking a quarterback at 2 and then knowing that they're going to have to deconstruct your entire offense to build it around this guy?" And before somebody go, well, you don't got to deconstruct the offense, the hell they not, because you have 2 traditional running backs and Jamal Williams and Swift, even though people act like Swift can't do it. I don't know why. And the receivers, they pull hard. They're route runners. I don't think they're going to be the guy that you take, or keep for a guy who's going to go off script at times. Are you prepared to say, you know what, our bill's going to be pushed back either further because I got to now dictate my picks and my moves to cater to this quarterback?
No, the way you build a team is you build the team and you plug and play the quarterback and wide receivers. You build the freaking team. Then you put in your weapons. You don't build your weapons without the tank. You don't build your weapons without the tank, okay?
Yeah, you have to get your foundation, your offensive, defensive lines. You get your linebacking core in.
Right.
You bump that secondary up, and then you can plug and play on offense. It just makes sense.
Here's a good analogy.
Oh no, I got a question for Dion right quick. Dion, who's on that Wheaties box behind you?
So I thought when I bought this back in 2015, he just won the MVP. The chef. I was like, well, this is gonna become, like very popular. I'm gonna be rich, selling this. But I opened the box, so I feel like that went out the window.
Yeah.
You didn't think that through when you were 14. You're like,
yeah, you did not think that through at all. I don't know what you
I ate the Wheaties. Hold up.
First of all, it's two reasons why I'm laughing. Reason one, who in the hell eats Wheaties? That's one.
Oh,
and two, the Wheaties is not. They not hitting like that. Let's not play.
They don't
Two, he's like, yeah, I'm going to sell this thing, collector's item. Let me open it up.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Tim. You were saying something.
Okay. If you have a jet plane and you do not have an aircraft carrier for it to land on, that jet plane isn't going to do you any good if it crashes in the middle of the sea. That's why the Lions need to build a foundation, the aircraft carrier, to have those planes that's going to go ahead and score and shoot down the opponents.
Uncle Timmy, man, he with the naval references I'm talking about. He about ready to watch Top Gun. I mean, I'm just saying. All right, let's move on to the next questions. Now, I saw this, and it kind of irritated me because you get people that are like, "Oh man, do you think the Lions did enough or do enough in free agency?" I think they did what they're supposed to do. They're sticking to the script. If you even listen to the interview from Sheila Hamp, because she took the photo off her name on the website and everything, so I'm just gonna say Sheila Hamp. She's saying that yes, it can get enticing to go, get this flashy person or that person, but we need to stick to the script, build the foundation. And Luke, you had a very good show last night about free agency spending. Break this down for us. Did the Lions do enough in free agency, and kind of break down what you had to say last night from your article about what they had to say about overspending in free agency?
So what I was doing was I was sitting up here and I started doing research, and I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, what's the big deal in this? And I wanted to see like what it looked like for teams who spend money. So I started looking at like the Super Bowl winning teams and the teams who made it to the Super Bowl. Ironically, in my attempted search of trying to find this, I found this article where somebody actually did the research for me that I was looking for. And I'm like, okay, and I had already had some of it done. And basically what they figured out is that overspending in free agency is directly correlated to losing. I'm going to say it again. Overspending in free agency is directly correlated to losing. And they had multiple charts where you can see all the teams who overspent in the free agency and where they finished in the league and how it happened. And then you look at all the people who made it to the Super Bowls and things like that. They were doing it because they were building through the draft. They were making smart, aggressive moves in free agency that people were looking at like, oh, that's not really a big signing, but it was a big signing. It was something significant for them and the team that made a difference. Whereas those teams who went out and aggressively spent in free agency, they found themselves always back at the bottom because most of those players who got those contracts didn't work out and they didn't build through the draft, and then they essentially put themselves in a cap situation, which means that they found themselves unable to truly compete. And the article also pointed out that and during that time, there are other factors that go into it. But the biggest factor was when you look at the people who are going on, like right now, Jacksonville went nuts and threw the whole bank at free agency. They said when you go through, you look at all those years, you'll find an outlier here and there. That's true. But the reality is consistently, the more you spend in free agency, the more chances are you're not going to win. And the article is called Avoiding the Free Agent Pitfalls. It's written by, I think it's NBC Sports, I believe it is. and it breaks it all down. And I mean, I tell you, just look at where the Lions is at on the scale, and how you can see between the different years. It goes all the way back to 2012, through the different years where we were always at on that pie chart. Well, not the pie chart, but on the plot chart. And then you are looking at us closely get back into a winning nature because we're not going nuts in free agency. And I just thought about the Lions in itself. Rick Wagner, TJ Lane, Trey Flowers. The list goes on and on and on of people we spend big money on and got nothing out of. Mike Daniels. I mean, what you cannot do it that way. And to me, it's something that we need to take a look at and say, look, Detroit, you did the right thing. You handled your business appropriately. We don't got to spend all that money.
Right. I think that we're doing the right thing in free agency. You're looking at how we're doing it, and you're bringing back the people you need to bring back. You're signing guys on prove-it deals, and you're building your team through the draft. And I think that and I like the way their person broke that down is that, the overspending. Even if people will say, well, look at what the Rams did, how they got their team. Their team wasn't built on free agency. They went through the draft and through trades. They traded for Matthew Stafford. They traded for Jalen Ramsey. They traded for Von Miller. The only guy they signed that was a big name on that team from free agency, they signed OBJ for a small contract because he got released from the Cleveland Browns, and he wanted to play. So he signed on a low for those guys. But it wasn't free agency. They built their team through the draft and through trades. So, got to look at it like that. I think that we're doing enough just because of the fact that the way we're trying to build is through the draft and not just going and sign flashy players. What you got, Delta Dion?
No, I agree 100%. I think we are doing very similar to what you saw with Brad Holmes and Sean McVay and how they kind of built their thing. I think the way they're handling free agency, but I also think it's, it is from the top, and Sheila being, involved like she is, seeing the plan can really pull it all together because, I like the plan that they're going with and I like the direction that they're going, but there's also the Sheila aspect, which has to be on board to see that plan, that we were not, rushing it or making crazy decisions. So I really like how it's coming all together. I think they did, absolutely. And I mean, I still see, some other smaller signings coming in there, but I like it. I mean, their foundation, they showed you how they were going to do it kind of last year, give guys prove-it deals. And once they start winning, then I think you could start signing some of those vets. But even when they did, like the Sues, it was just 1 year deal, big money. Get those guys that kind of try to take you over the top. Then the straight trades started piling in because you're like, oh gosh, that guy's already proven in the league. Jalen Ramsey's available. Let me go get Jalen. But I like the, kind of where we're at for 2 years in. I kind of like how we're going because I feel like we're in where the Rams were kind of like year one with Sean McVay.
Yeah. I mean, we're starting year two. I mean, you look at it, we're starting year two. This is not we're full swing in the year two. We're starting year two. So what you got, Anthony, on, do you think the Lions did enough in free agency and like how they're building this team?
I think we've done plenty, and I think the main thing that they've not done is panic, because free agency is a time when teams can panic and go, oh god, I need to spend some money here, and they will get the decisions wrong. We are just coming off the back of one of the most disastrous set of contracts we've ever given out to a group of players ever under Bob Quinn. He's given out some horrendous ones. 60 million in dead cap last year we ate, because we've been trying to get rid of all the rubbish that he brought in. We're carrying 18 million this year from Jamie Collins and Trey Flowers. We've not had that much money to work with. Even this year, people said, oh, we got 40 million, etc. No, we don't. We've got about 14 wrapped up in the draft. We've got to bring players back in. We've got to get depth there. You've got to get your practice squad guys. They're $1 million a piece. Money has been tight, and for the most part, they've done the sensible decision. They've bought the correct players back on very good deals, I might add. Charles Harris, Tracy Walker, Josh Reynolds, players who played well last year, who deserve new contracts, bought them back, good deals. They're not risking the finances, and we're building again through the draft. We've got a strong set of draft picks coming up where we can get a lot of talent we can inject into this team. And because of how well they've dealt with the financials, next year we only have to pay TJ if we want to, and I think Amani, not a lot of contracts on. We've got about 90 million coming in free agency next year. When we've got this base of really, we've got a real good team with a lot of developmental talent in there that's had 2 years to develop and provides a very solid foundation for us. We have the tools next year to really go out and then add that elite group in with it, because of how sensible they've been with the finances last year and this. So I think we've done just fine with what we've done, and we've stuck to the plan, which is built through the draft, get these guys in on 1-year flies and reward them if they do it. So I'm quite happy with what they've done.
Plus,
Okay, what you got? What you got, Val?
we have to. Oh, go ahead.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, let me get to Val.
Yeah, well, I think it's a loaded question, but anyway, they did done exactly what they were supposed to do, and the focus is on the draft, not in the free agency at this point. I mean, the needs are much greater in the draft, not in the free agency. Most of the people you can pick up in free agency, you can find in the Walmart parking lot after the draft. So just, I mean, no. There was no need to be looking for that. I mean, you pick up some of the pieces there in free agency that you might need for extra depth a little bit, just in case somebody goes down with injuries and stuff. But other than that, that's not the focus. The focus right now is the draft, and that's the number one, blinders on decision making right now.
Okay.
And that's where they should be.
What you got?
I just think plus is if you realize that there's more than one wave of free agency. So to just act as if though we missed out because we didn't go crazy in the first wave is ludicrous.
Yep, because you're gonna have the after the draft, and you're gonna have when you have the cuts, when you cut down comes. That's that last free agency is right there after the camp cuts happen. So free agency is not done whatsoever. All right, what you got, Maniac Tim? How you think we've done in free agency?
Okay, for what we're doing, we've done great. Now, is this going to be we're not at the point where that flashy signing free agent is going to get us to the Super Bowl or make us to contenders for actually winning the Super Bowl or whatever. So we're not at that point. So we have stuck to the plan. We're building the base. We're not going to go ahead and just totally throw away our future as was done in the past by stupid moves, by overplaying players. We did well enough in free agency for the team that we got.
Okay, last question, lightning question. All right, lightning round. One word answer. Second year player that needs to have the biggest jump for the Lions. What you got, Luke G?
Second year player who needs to have the biggest. I'm gonna go Barnes.
All right, Tim. What you got? Luke got Barnes. What you got?
Oh man, that's the one I wanted. But
you can say Barnes. That's your pick. You can say Barnes.
Yeah,
Barnes. What you got, Dosa Dion?
Levi
Onwuzurike. Okay. What you got, Val?
I personally don't give a shit, but I'm gonna represent the man who started the show, Jim Bordeaux, and go with his pick, and that would be Barnes.
Barnes. Anthony, what you got? Who's the biggest guy? His second year player needs to have the biggest jump and play for the Lions.
Levi.
Levi Onwuzurike. I'm gonna say Iffy. I want Iffy to be a starter. I want him to be on the outside. Him and AO out there. You know what I'm saying? And if he can have that big jump, we don't have. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to worry about our outside. Corners. We got two good solid corners. I don't think Okuda is going to be that guy. He's never going to be. I don't think he'll ever be a starting cornerback in this league again. So I think Iffy making a big jump out there with AO, I think that would definitely make the back end of our secondary better.
I forgot about Iffy. How did I forget about Iffy? What the hell?
How did you forget about Iffy?
Really?
Hey, thanks everyone for checking us out right here on Detroit Lives of the Proper Free for All Friday. It's Friday, then hey, it's Saturday, Sunday. Sorry we couldn't get to more comments today. Had a little bit fuller panel. Now it's time for final thoughts for today's show. My man Anthony, y'all know him, Jathan Statham Jr. over there in the UK. What is your final thoughts for today's show?
Oh God, you've caught me off it. No, I'm just glad to be back with you guys here, and hopefully I get to do it a lot more in future. I love coming on and debating here. Obviously, there are that many things we can do in the draft. That's why it's so heated this year. But at the end of the day, let's trust Brad Holmes. Let's trust Dan Campbell. They've got a good track record, and they know best. So let's go Lions.
All right. What you got, Uncle Timmy? What's your final thoughts for today's show?
Well, let's just keep building in the draft. Good show. It's good to be with you all, and enjoy your weekend.
All right, my man. Y'all see him, the young fella. You know what I'm saying? They be calling his name Dose. My man, Dosa Dion. What you got, man, for your final thoughts for today's show?
Hey man, no, it's just good to be back in here. And like I said, man, the energy was live as soon as at first I hopped in and there was like no one talking. And all of a sudden here comes Curt and it's just like bam, I'm like, all right, we're ready to go. So it's good to be back with you guys, man.
Yeah, thank you for coming back, man. You and Anthony, you guys are welcome anytime, man. We really appreciate you jumping in on the show. And it's time for the Queen of Proud, Miss Valerie Bordeaux. What are your final thoughts for today's show?
It's always fun to hang out with the best guys in YouTube podcasting for the Lions. So I always have a fun time with y'all. Even though I talk some shit, but it's going to be an interesting year for the Lions. I've already called it. The Lions are going to get that wild card spot, and I've already said it. So that's where it's at.
All right, Val playing Babe Ruth. She calling her shot like the natural. You know what I'm saying? Like that movie, the baseball movie. She said she calling her shot. Lions in the wild card spot. Hell, I ain't gonna be mad with it if it happens. Thank you everyone for checking us out right here on Detroit Lions and the Proud, man. And this takes me back to those gym days, man, when he was here and we had Dose and we had Anthony. This is a nostalgic show for me, man. I love you guys being here, man. And come back. You're welcome anytime, man.
Come back.
Really appreciate it. And for everyone in the chat and everyone watching, man, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us right here on the show. Go over and get yourself some Fanatics gear. Link in the description below. Portion of the proceeds help us grow the content on this show. And they have tons of sales going on right now. So go ahead and check it out. And plus, man, just be a part of the Proud Nation family. We appreciate you. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. And thank you for joining us for today. We really appreciate it. Now it is time for the always inspirational Luke G of Luke G's Fair Review to give his final thoughts.
Hey, salute to everybody. I'm excited because the draft is getting closer. No more speculation. We can get to the answer and start to worry about the real important things. But today's positive quote comes from the internet. He basically says, broken does not mean you are out. Broken does not mean you are out. Sometimes you just gonna be broken. That does not mean you're out. It just means that you have a minor thing that needs to be tweaked. I don't know about you guys, but I used to break a lot of toys when I was a kid, and I would find a way to find a new use for them. And this is what you got to do with yourself. When you find yourself in a place where you feel broken, or you feel like you are hurt, or that you don't have any support, or people don't believe in you, don't count yourself out. That's where the game just begins. That's where you become better. That's where you become stronger. That's where you become a greater version of yourself. Just because you are broken does not mean that this is over. It does not mean that the game has come to an end. It simply means that they are asking you to reach your full potential. The sky ain't your ceiling. You have so much more to give. And when you find a way to access that newfound power, no matter how broken you used to be, no matter how hurt it was that had you held down, you will find yourself in a place where everything around you is going the way you want it. Everything around you is moving in the direction you want it. And everything around you is respecting and loving you the way you want, because they now see that there's nothing, and I mean nothing, they can do to make you feel any worse than you did when you was broke, because you've already shown them that there is nothing that can stop you from being the greatest version of you. Broken does not count you out. It makes you great. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research. Trayvon Walker. You gotta be kidding me.
Thank you everyone for checking in throughout the show. Check out some of those pro days this weekend, man. We're gonna have some more content coming for you guys next week. Just let you guys know we're on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We will get back to the full slate of shows, week of shows. When we get closer to the draft, we'll have our mock drafts and more of the draft profiles for you for the prospects. But we're on that Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You know how we hold it down for you guys, because we do the Monday, Wednesday, and then we do what we're doing now. We for all Friday. You know how the song goes. It's Friday, then hey, it's Saturday, Sunday. What? Do me a favor. Hey, wipe them crumbs off your face, finish your drink, and get back to work, baby. And whatever you do in life, you know what you got to do. You got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For the panel, this is Curt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon. We love you, Jim.